Have you ever promised yourself that tomorrow would finally be different? Not casually, not as a hopeful thought you forget by morning, but with that heavy, quiet seriousness that only shows up when you're disappointed in who you've been. You lie in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, replaying your mistakes, the missed opportunities, the plans that never happened. And you tell yourself, tomorrow changes everything. Tomorrow I'll wake up early. Tomorrow I'll take control. Tomorrow I'll stop wasting my potential. So you set the alarm. 5 a.m. It feels symbolic, powerful, like a line drawn in the sand between the life you've been living and the person you want to become. You tell yourself, disciplined people wake up early. Successful people wake up early. And if you can just win the morning, the rest of your life will finally fall into place. You fall asleep believing it. Then the alarm rings. The room is dark. The world is silent. Your body feels heavier than it did just hours ago. Your bed feels warm, safe, forgiving. And suddenly, the confident version of you from last night disappears. In its place is a negotiator, calm, logical, convincing. Just 5 more minutes. You barely slept. You can start tomorrow. One day won't matter. 5 minutes become 10. 10 become 30. And before you know it, the morning is gone again. If this sounds familiar, stay with me, because this isn't a story about laziness. It's a story about discipline, and about a lesson most people don't understand until years of their life are already behind them. 35 years ago, in a small Rust Belt town where factories once roared and now stood quiet, there lived a boy named Luke. Luke was 8 years old, curious, energetic during the day, but completely defeated by mornings. Every weekday, long before the sun rose, Luke's father stood in the doorway of his bedroom. He never yelled, never argued. He simply said the same words every morning. "Time to go." Luke would groan, roll over, and pull the blanket over his head. "5 more minutes, Dad. I'm tired." But his father never negotiated. 5 a.m. meant 5 a.m., rain or shine, summer heat or winter cold. By 5:10, Luke was dressed, boots on, following his father down quiet streets toward the orchard on the edge of town. This wasn't a postcard orchard with neat rows and smiling visitors. The ground was uneven, the grass grew wild, the work was slow, repetitive, and unforgiving. Some mornings, rain fell so hard Luke could barely see his feet. Other mornings, the cold cut through his jacket like a blade. Sometimes his hands ached before the sun even appeared. And every morning, Luke complained, "Why today? It's raining. It's freezing. Can't we skip just once?" One morning, after weeks of miserable weather, Luke finally snapped. "Dad, why do we have to come when it's like this?" His father didn't stop working. He didn't lecture. He didn't raise his voice. He simply said, without looking up, "Because the orchard doesn't care about the weather." Luke didn't understand. To him, weather felt personal, cold felt unfair, rain felt cruel, but the orchard never reacted. It didn't pause for excuses. It didn't adjust to his mood. It responded only to consistency. For 10 years, Luke woke up at 5 a.m., not because he wanted to, but because he had to. And by the time he turned 18, he was done.
The day he left for the city, Luke promised himself he would never live like that again. No more dark mornings, no more wet clothes, no more doing hard things when everything felt wrong. University felt like freedom. No alarms, no rules, no one forcing him out of bed. At first, it was incredible. Then, slowly, something changed. Luke started sleeping in, then sleeping later. He made plans that never turned into action. I'll wake up early tomorrow. I'll start this project on the weekend. I'll do it when I feel motivated. But motivation never arrived on schedule. Weeks passed, months followed, years slipped by. By the time Luke was 28, his life looked stable on the outside, but empty on the inside. Same apartment, same paycheck, same unfinished ideas scattered around his room. He wasn't failing dramatically. He was drifting quietly.
One Sunday morning, Luke woke up close to 11. Sunlight filled the room, already too late to matter. He sat on the edge of the bed with his head in his hands, feeling the weight of wasted time. And suddenly, a sentence he hadn't thought about in years echoed in his mind. The orchard doesn't care about the weather. This time, it hit differently. Not about trees, about life. Life hadn't punished him. It hadn't judged him. It had simply responded to what he did repeatedly. That night, Luke brought a ticket home. He arrived just before sunrise. The town felt smaller than he remembered. Quieter. At exactly 5 a.m., his father was already awake, boots on, jacket zipped, keys in hand. Luke hesitated. "Can I come with you?" His father studied him for a long moment, then nodded. They walked in silence toward the orchard. The sky was dark. The air was cold. A light rain fell. Luke's body protested every step. When they reached the trees, his father began working without a word, just like always. After a while, Luke finally asked the question he had avoided for years. "Why did you make me wake up so early back then? Every single day, no matter what?" His father pulled a weed from the soil before answering. "Some days are easy," he said. "Everything works with you." Then he looked up at the sky, and most days don't. "If I only worked when conditions were perfect, this place would have died years ago." Luke swallowed. "That's what I did," Luke said quietly. "I waited." His father nodded. "Most people do." Luke returned to the city with a rule. For the next 90 days, he would wake up at 5 a.m. No excuses, no negotiation. The first morning was brutal. His body screamed to stay in bed. His mind produced every excuse imaginable. But he got up. Day 3 brought rain. Day 7 brought exhaustion. Day 15 brought doubt. He got up anyway. Every morning, he worked one focused hour. Not perfectly, not endlessly, just consistently. By day 30, progress appeared. By day 60, momentum followed. By day 90, Luke was different. Not motivated, disciplined. Luke realized discipline wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Discipline wasn't about forcing himself. It was about removing choice. The alarm rang, and he moved. No debate, no bargaining. Each morning he proved something to himself, that he could be trusted. That trust changed how he spoke to himself. He stopped calling himself lazy. He stopped assuming failure. He became someone who followed through. He stopped asking whether conditions were right.
he started asking whether the work mattered. That shift changed everything.
You're recognizing a familiar pattern, not judging it. Most people misunderstand discipline. They think it's about intensity, about sudden bursts of effort, dramatic transformations, or short periods of extreme motivation. But intensity burns fast. Discipline is quiet, boring, repetitive. That's why most people avoid it. Discipline doesn't give you an emotional high. It gives you a mirror. And that mirror shows you who you are when no one is watching. Life, like the orchard, doesn't respond to intentions. It responds to consistency. Your goals don't care how badly you want them. Your dreams don't care how inspired you feel today. Your future doesn't care how tired you are right now. It only asks one question. Did you show up? You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. to succeed, but you do need one non-negotiable habit, one thing you do every day, regardless of how you feel. For the next 90 days, choose one habit. Make it small. Make it boring. Make it non-negotiable. Expect bad weather. Expect resistance. That's not failure. That's the training. Because discipline isn't built on perfect days. It's built on rainy ones, on tired ones, on ordinary ones. So tonight, set the alarm, make the promise, and when the moment comes, remember this. The orchard doesn't care about the weather, and neither does your future. If this story stayed with you, don't let it end here. Like this video as a marker of intent. Write the habit you're ready to change in the comments, not for anyone else, but as a promise to yourself. Then keep it.